Hello everybody, welcome back. So आज we are gonna start with the third chapter, ठीक है, which is coordinate geometry. ठीक है, we are gonna start with coordinate geometry. This is our third chapter of your NCERT according to your NCERT. And इस chapter में we are gonna learn how to actually plot your points on graphs. ठीक है, तो हम इसमें we are gonna learn about what is a graph. How to actually use your graph. हमें ग्राफ कैसे यूज करना है, कैसे इस पे प्लॉट करनी है चीजें, दैट इज ऑल वी हैव टू लर्न. ठीक है, सो लेट्स फर्स्ट स्टार्ट विद व्हाट इज द बेसिक ऑफ दिस. ठीक है, एंड वंस आई टेल यू वन थिंग दैट इन दिस एक्चुअली आपको हमेशा इन एग्जाम्स विल एक्चुअली बी हेल्ड विद अ ग्राफ. आपको हमेशा एक ग्राफ दिया जाएगा टू एक्चुअली प्लॉट व्हाटएवर यू वांट. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले वी आर गोना लर्न अबाउट अ टर्म कॉल्ड एज कार्टेशियन प्लेन. ठीक है, अब ये कार्टेशियन प्लेन क्या होता है? आई होप यू ऑल नो. हमने जब इंटीजर्स पढ़ा था चैप्टर, तब जब हमने फर्स्ट चैप्टर पढ़ा था नंबर सिस्टम, उसमें हमने इंटीजर्स पढ़ा था एंड उसमें हम लोगों ने चीज पढ़ी थी एज नंबर लाइन. यस, व्हाट आई हैव डन, दिस इज जस्ट अ नंबर लाइन विद जीरो इन द बिटवीन. ठीक है, व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज द ओरिजिन. इसके राइट पे वी हैव ऑल द पॉजिटिव नंबर्स, इसके लेफ्ट पे वी हैव ऑल द नेगेटिव नंबर्स. एंड like if I want to actually plot like the distance between 1 and 2 is 1 unit distance. Acha, the distance between 1 and 3 is 2 unit distance. I hope this is clear. This is just a basic kind of a number line. अब इसी का extended version we'll actually learn. ठीक है, let's go further. Okay, now there is one thing now. This the line, the thing I am actually pointing out, this is the number line that we just drew about. Yes, इसी के perpendicular में, ठीक है, इसी के perpendicular में we have drawn another number line, the same number line but just in a perpendicular form. Perpendicular मतलब this is actually these two lines are perpendicular. Okay, अच्छा. Now the horizontal line, I'll talk about this horizontal line. So this is the horizontal line, okay, अभी के लिए, and this is a vertical line. इसके बाद अभी मैं आपको इसके और कन्वेंशंस बताऊंगी, तो हम उससे इन लाइंस को एक्चुअली डिफाइन करते हैं, नोटिफाई करते हैं. ऑलराइट, सो द हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन इज सेड टू बी द एक्स एक्सिस. ठीक है, जो ये हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन होती है इसको हम एक्स एक्सिस बोलते हैं. दिस इज योर एक्सिस. ठीक है, योर दिस वर्टिकल लाइन इज कॉल्ड एज वाई एक्सिस. ठीक है, इसको हम वाई एक्सिस बोलते हैं. ठीक है, नाउ दिस द पॉइंट where I am pointing right now, the intersection of your vertical and your horizontal is called as a zero. This is the origin. Okay, the intersection of x-axis and y-axis is called as the origin. So this is the origin. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now on the right side of the origin, on the horizontal line, are the positive. So positive numbers होते हैं. So that is why it is called as a positive x-axis. All right. And to the left of the origin on the horizontal line we have negative numbers. That is why it is called as a negative x-axis. I hope this is clear. Now let's go further. ठीक है, अब above the origin, ठीक है, just right above the origin we have positive numbers. ये different है अब आपके लिए, so you have to actually pay attention to this. Now just above your origin we have positive numbers. All right, and it is called as a positive y-axis. ठीक है, below origin we have all negative numbers. It is called as negative y-axis. I hope this much is clear, and this is actually to be remembered. ये सबसे basic है of a graph. You actually have to know what is what. ठीक है, I'll again repeat it. The intersection of both the horizontal and the vertical axis is the origin. The right side of the origin, that is the positive x-axis. The left side is called as a negative x-axis. All right. Now above origin is called as a positive y-axis because there are always positive numbers. Below origin we have all negative numbers. That is why it is called as negative y-axis. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now this is the basic of a Cartesian plane. ये बेसिक है ऑफ कार्टेशियन. दिस इज हाउ वी लुक एट अ ग्राफ. ठीक है, नाउ we are going to learn about what are quadrants. ठीक है? Now, as I told you, your horizontal is x-axis, your vertical is y-axis. Let's go slow. ठीक है? This was the origin. All right? There were certain positive numbers over here. Yes. There were certain negative numbers over here. There were certain positive numbers over here. And there were certain negative numbers below the origin. Yes. Now, we actually divide our graph. This is a graph. All right? And we actually divide our graph in certain quadrants. ये quadrant word is something very different for you. Quadrant का मतलब क्या होता है? Quadrant qua means 1/4. Yes. So every 1/4 part of this graph is actually said to have some number. ठीक है? और उसे हम quadrant number बोलते हैं. All right. Every 1/4 part of this graph is having a number, and that number is called as a quadrant. And that number. Let's first find out. Like the first 1/4 part. This is the 1/4 first part of our graph. Yeah. So this is called as the first quadrant of the graph. Okay. The second 1/4 part is called as the second quadrant of the graph. Third 1/4 part is called as the third quadrant of the graph, and fourth is called as the fourth quadrant. We always have to go anti-clockwise. I hope this is clear. हमें first यहाँ से start करना है. We have to go anti-clockwise and we have to start giving up the names. Am I clear? ठीक है? हमें anti-clockwise जाना है and we have to give names to everyone. And we have to go anti-clockwise. I hope this is clear. ठीक है? Let's go forward. Now, we are gonna learn how to plot points on a graph. अब हमने बेसिक्स ऑफ ग्राफ सीख लिया है. ठीक है? As I told you, let's first revise. This is the graph. This is the exact graph जैसा आपको दिया जाएगा in every exam. ठीक है? So this is called as a graph. ठीक है? इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? इसको हम बोलते हैं ग्राफ. ये होता है आपका ग्राफ. ठीक है? This is how your graph looks. The blue lines, the small blue lines are there over here. ठीक है? Horizontal and vertical छोटी-छोटी lines होती हैं. इससे हम ग्राफ बोलते हैं. And exactly ऐसा ही ग्राफ आपको दिया जाएगा. Now on this graph, this is the origin. I hope this is clear. Yes. Now on the right side, we have all the positive numbers. This is called as a positive x-axis. On the negative side, on the horizontal line, we have negative numbers and it is called as a negative x-axis. Above the origin, we have all the positive numbers. It is called as a positive y-axis. Below origin, we have all the negative numbers and it is called as negative y-axis. I hope this is clear. Now, I've plotted certain numbers 2, 4, 6, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 and as well as above and below also. Now, we have a point, we have plotted just a point which is P. ठीक है? हमने इसे denote किया as P. Now, how do we tell what is this point? ये point हम ऐसे थोड़ी बोल सकते हैं एग्जाम में that this is a point P. P का मतलब क्या है? What are the coordinates of this point? Now, there's a different term that is called as we have to actually calculate the coordinates of this point. I hope this is very much clear. मैं लिख भी रही हूँ coordinates of the point. ठीक है? So what are the coordinates of P? If we have to actually define P, we have to define it using coordinates. What are coordinates? Let's see. इस point को let's first extend towards x-axis. First put a perpendicular line towards x-axis. ठीक है? We can see x-axis पे there's a point as they have just written it as 4. अब आपको यहाँ दिख रहा होगा that it actually points on 7. ठीक है? ऐसा लग रहा होगा that it points on 7. Let's just create this as 7. ठीक है? ताकि आपको समझ में आए that it is actually going to 7. So यहाँ पे देखो, when I actually extended this point towards x-axis, it pointed on 7. Yes, 7 दिख रहा है हमें. So I have actually written x point as 7. हमारे पास दो यहाँ पे कोऑर्डिनेट्स होते हैं. वन इज द x कोऑर्डिनेट, वन इज द y कोऑर्डिनेट. x कोऑर्डिनेट का ये मतलब होता है कि यहाँ जब मैं पॉइंट को ऑन द x एक्सिस लेके जाऊंगी, द पॉइंट वेयर इट पॉइंट्स, जैसे यहाँ पे ऑन द x एक्सिस आई एम गेटिंग एज 7, तो इसका मतलब हुआ कि ये 7 है. So my x coordinate is considered to be 7. Y coordinate. Now let's just see y coordinate. मैंने y coordinate के लिए इसको again perpendicularly on the y axis मैंने इसको extend किया. As we can see, ये आपका 1 पे point कर रहा है. Let's just write 1. ठीक है? जो पहले लिखा हुआ है लेट्स जस्ट नॉट कंसिडर दैट बिकॉज दैट वुड बी रॉन्ग, बट हमें जो दिख रहा है वील एक्चुअली गो बाय दैट. तो यहाँ पे हमें क्या दिख रहा है दैट द point when we extend it towards x-axis it is pointing towards 7. When we extend it towards y-axis it is considered to be 1. So we have 7, 1 as our coordinates of p. ठीक है. ऐसे ही अगर if I have a point r for example, ठीक है, यहाँ पे आपको दिख रहा होगा r. What is r? r is basically when we actually extend it towards x. x पे ही है ये तो that is -6. अगर मैं y पे लूँ, y पे तो मैं ले ही नहीं सकती, तो y पे it's basically 0. -6, 0 are the coordinates of r. ठीक है. इसी तरीके से we have to actually point out all the coordinates on our graph. ठीक है. Let's go further. Now there are certain terms what you have to actually learn. ठीक है. First is what is called as abscissa. Abscissa. Let's not consider the question. मैंने आपको ये question इसीलिए लिया था because I just wanted you to know what are the terms. ठीक है. So first is the abscissa. Abscissa का मतलब होता है x coordinate. ठीक है. Abscissa का मतलब होता है just the x coordinate. ठीक है. This is the term what you have to actually learn over here. That is abscissa. Abscissa is x coordinate. ठीक है. And ordinate is y coordinate. Y coordinate is called as ordinate. X coordinate is called as abscissa. I hope this is clear. These two terms are clear. And B and whatever the points they are written over here, हमें ordinate and coordinate बताना है. तो यहाँ पे आपके जैसे यहाँ पे I have written, if I have a graph, if we actually consider the above graph, तो हमें यहाँ पे पता चल रहा है B point as they have written is -5, 0 because that graph would be wrong थोड़ा सा. So that is why यहाँ से हम consider करते हैं the point B is -5, 0. What is the abscissa of this coordinate? -5 is the abscissa and 0 is the ordinate because -5 is the x coordinate and 0 is the y coordinate. I hope this is clear. This is the first thing that I wanted to tell you. Okay. Now, what we have is next is we have to now find out certain points. ठीक है. अब हमारे पास we have these are all the questions that I have written. If you want, I can actually tell you in detail. ठीक है. Now, if I want to plot m, ठीक है, m का for example we have 3, 0. ठीक है. If we have 3, 0 as a point, that is m. What is the abscissa? What is the x coordinate of this? That is 3. Yes. And what is the y coordinate of this? That is 0. So 3 is the abscissa and 0 is the ordinate of m. ठीक है. m को हम इस तरीके से लिखते हैं. All right. So basically, if I draw a graph over here, let's see how does it actually go. ठीक है. So please tell me, this is my x coordinate, this is my x axis, this is my y axis, this is my 0. All right. And now let's just plot certain points. ठीक है. यहाँ पे मैं 1 लिख रही हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं 2 लिख रही हूँ, यहाँ पे मैं 3 लिख रही हूँ. ठीक है. And this is again 1, this is again 2. ठीक है. इधर मैं -1 and -2 लिख रही हूँ. ठीक है. Because this graph is small, so इसीलिए मैं बहुत छोटा-छोटा लिख रही हूँ. All right. Now, if I want to plot, ठीक है, इस ग्राफ को मैं थोड़ा सा बड़ा कर देती हूँ for our convenience. ठीक है. If I want to plot a point which is like over here, ये point है मेरा. This point I am considered as m. ठीक है. मैं m को कैसे coordinates में लिखूंगी? Let me just write it down. इसको मैं extend करूंगी towards my x-axis. Yes. When I extend it towards my x-axis, the point on x-axis which is pointing is 2. So मेरा x coordinate will be 2. ठीक है. Now let's just see what is the y coordinate. Y coordinate के लिए I will extend it towards y axis. Yes. If I extend it towards y axis, क्या आ रहा है point? This is around 1.5 something. Yes. So my y coordinate is 1.5. Now, so this is my abscissa. 2 is my abscissa, and ordinate is 1.5. Okay. If I have a point right over here, ठीक है, यहाँ पे है, let's consider it as L. ठीक है, इस point को हम L बोल देते हैं. What are the coordinates of L? Just please tell me. Okay. Let's see. इसको अगर मैं x-axis पे लूँ ना, this is again on x-axis. So what can be the x coordinate of this? minus 1.5. Yes. What is the y coordinate? Y coordinate, अरे y coordinate पे तो लेके ही नहीं जा सकते इसको, so that is considered to be 0. So there are certain rules that you have to actually understand. What are those rules? I'll just tell you. I'll just write it down. ठीक है? First is, the rule number 1 is, whenever a point is there on x-axis, a point is there on x-axis, ठीक है? The coordinates will be, like for example, the coordinates will be x comma 0. Okay, the y coordinate will be always 0. Alright? Okay. If the point is on y axis, okay, if the point is on y axis, that means my x coordinate will be 0 and there will be some y coordinate. I hope this is clear. This is a very, very important kind of a notice that I have given you. This is very, very important. Okay? जब भी a graph is given, when a point is there on x-axis, it is said to be x comma 0, y coordinate is said to be 0, and when the point is on y-axis, the x coordinate is said to be 0. I hope this point is really clear to you. ठीक है? ये point आपको बहुत अच्छे से clear होना चाहिए. ठीक है? Now, look here. If there is a point S, ठीक है? If I have a point as S, ठीक है, on the graph, and it is considered to be 0, minus 3. Now let's just see, ठीक है? हम इसको plot करके देखते हैं. Let me plot it, ठीक है? तो जब हम इसको plot करेंगे, तो ये आपका कुछ इस तरीके से. Let me just show you, ठीक है? Now this is a 0. Yes, this is a 0. This is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Now you have to tell me in which quadrant also this is. ठीक है? तो हम यहाँ पे 0, minus 3 करते हैं. 0, minus 3 means this actually lies on y-axis. क्यों? क्योंकि इसका x coordinate 0 है. Let's see, y-axis पे and y-axis पे negative है minus 3. That means नीचे की तरफ है. Let's see, negative मतलब minus 1 over here, minus 2 over here, and minus 3 over here. तो मेरा ये s कहाँ पे lie करेगा? This will lie over here, right? So this is my 0, minus 3, and this is said to be as s. Okay. अब मुझे ये बताओ that अच्छा, okay, we cannot tell the quadrant because it is on an axis. Yes. So आप मुझे बताओ what is the abscissa of this? Abscissa is 0. Ordinate is minus 3. Yes. Okay. If I have a point right here, okay, if I have a point right here, and let's just consider this as 2. Okay. If I have a point right here, what are the coordinates of this point? This coordinate is almost, when we actually extend it on x-axis, we have 2. Yes, x coordinate is 2. When we extend on y-axis, this is almost like a minus 2.5. Yes, let's just write it as minus 2.5. Now, please tell me what is the quadrant in which this point lies. ये जो मैंने point लिया है, let is considered as P. Which quadrant does it lie? ये कौन से quadrant में lie कर रहा है? This quadrant is, I told you, you have to actually start from here. This is the first quadrant. This is the second quadrant. We have to go anti-clockwise. Yes. This is the third quadrant. And this is the fourth quadrant. So in which quadrant does this lie point? This lies in fourth quadrant. तो मैं आपको इसकी भी एक दो प्रैक्टिस करवाती हूँ. All right. ताकि आपको quadrants भी समझ में आए. All right. Let's just plot one more graph. Because this is really important. ठीक है. ये chapter is all about all this. ठीक है. And this chapter is actually over. और मैं आपको और questions करवाऊंगी. Tomorrow also I'll take more questions. ठीक है. So this is 0. Then we have again 1. We have 2. We have 3. ठीक है. Here we have 1. We have a 2. We have a 3. Okay. Then this is a negative. So we'll have negative numbers over here. ठीक है. So this is my x-axis. This is my y-axis. Now, if I have a point right here, okay, if I have a point right here, and let's just consider this point as 2, okay. If I actually mark this, this will be as 2 and 2. Yes. So on x-axis we have a 2. So my x coordinate is 2. My y coordinate is also 2. सबसे पहले tell me what is the abscissa of this point? This is 2. Yes. So my abscissa is 2. My ordinate is 2. Yes. And which quadrant does this lie? Let's see. This is the first quadrant. Let's go anti-clockwise. This is the second quadrant. This is the third quadrant. And this is the fourth quadrant. Yes? So in which quadrant does this point lie? It lies in the second quadrant. Okay? This point lies in the second quadrant. I hope this concept is very clear to you. ठीक है? आपको ये concept clear है? Now, we'll plot certain points. ठीक है? हम लोग कुछ points plot करते हैं. ठीक है? We have to plot certain points. We have points like, now you have to actually draw it with me. ठीक है? This is my y-axis. This is my x-axis. We have to point certain. Please plot it down. ठीक है? -3, 0. This is my first coordinate. What we have to actually plot. We have 5, 3 as the second coordinate. Okay, let's just plot only 2. ठीक है? So -3, 0. First, what we have to do? -3, 0. Oh, the y coordinate is 0. That means the point lies on x-axis. So let's just plot -3. As I told you, ये वाला positive होता है. This is said to be the negative. तो यहाँ पे होगा -3. Let's just see. So this is -1, -2, and we have a -3. The point -3, 0 lies on the x-axis. So this is my point -3, 0. The abscissa is -3. Ordinate is 0, and this cannot lie on any quadrant actually because this lies on the axis. Okay? Okay. The second point is 5, 3. Okay? Now 5, 3 को कैसे करेंगे? 5 is the x coordinate. That means on the x axis we have 5. Let's just find out. Okay. यहाँ पे हम 1, then we have a 2, then we have a 3, then we have a 4, and then we have a 5. आप प्लीज ग्राफ में प्लीज प्लॉट इट डाउन विद प्रॉपर डिस्टेंस. ऑलराइट, यहाँ पे मैंने डिस्टेंस छोटे काफी बड़े बड़े दिए हैं, यहाँ पे मैंने छोटे दिए हैं. दिस इज ऑल बिकॉज दिस इज जस्ट अ व्हाइट बोर्ड, राइट. बट ग्राफ में यू हैव टू एक्चुअली बी वेरी केयरफुल व्हाइल यू एक्चुअली प्लॉट डाउन. ठीक है? विद प्रॉपर स्पेसेस यू हैव टू एक्चुअली गिव इट. ओके, वी हैव 5 on x coordinate and we have 3 on y coordinate. So let's just, and this is positive 3. Yes, we will actually plot it down positive. So this is 5, okay, 5 and 3. 5 on the x and 3 on the y. So this is, I hope, the point which we have to plot. So this is 5 on the x and 3 on the y. I hope this concept is very clear to you. And this chapter is all about plotting, all about knowing what is abscissa, what is ordinate, and to know what quadrant does that point lie in. ठीक है? मैं आपको कल क्वेश्चन इसके और करवाऊंगी. ठीक है? एंड फॉर टुडे आई विल टेक अ लीव. थैंक यू सो मच. एंड इफ यू लाइक द सेशन, प्लीज लाइक, शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब टू आवर चैनल which is Prekas Academy. I'll see you tomorrow.